I am careless and I'm lost, 'cause she's left me life's far too long. I have stumbled, grown far ahead, in my mind don't want to need her instead. When I see her, my heart feels like a sinking stone. I need her, I'm not sure if she's coming home. All alone, I'm not sure if she's coming home. All alone, I'm not sure if she's coming home. In the dark I wait for the moment to slip inside away. I feel bad to my bones, left too lazy life, forced to follow. When I see her, my heart feels like a sinking stone. I know, need her, I'm not sure if she's coming home. All alone, I'm not sure if she's coming home. All alone, and my heart's like a sinking stone. I'm a man, just can't hide. She's still on my mind, like the dark covers night. When I see her, my heart feels like a sinking stone. I know, need her, I'm not sure if she's coming home. And my heart's like a sinking stone. All alone, I'm not sure if she's coming home. All alone, my bad, my heart's like a sinking stone. 'Cause I know
She's not coming home. Hey, everybody. April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2019. Could be a very fitting day for our main topic du jour today, April Fool's Day. And we'll get to that in a minute. I want to, first of all, say from Missy Jenn and I, especially from Missy Jenn, a big thank you. Of course, she celebrated 5 years on the Rancho today at about 2 p.m. on April 1st, 2004. 14, she arrived on the Rancho, and she's been lighting it up here ever since. And I'm very proud to have her here, and I've enjoyed every minute of her being here and all the wonderful friends that we have made. I see him out there, Tara, who spent time with us, and we have Joey D and so many other people that have really done nicely. Hey, Boo, how are you? Have really done wonderful things for us and continue to do wonderful things for us. It is really, really amazing and very overwhelming, too. The amount of material, the amount of love and support, friendship, the growth of the channel, the wonderful new friends that I've made with the merging of the drama community and Avoid has been absolutely wonderful. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. I want to thank also all of you that were out on the Epic Chooch today. Did some show tunes on the road. Always a lot of fun to hang out with you. Cheryl, I hope you're doing well. It's okay, Boo. Cesar, I'm not going to answer that that question out there. You know, when you reflect back on Missy Jenn's 5 years on the Rancho and how nicely she's adopted to California, but still maintains some of her European flair. It's always very sweet. I enjoy that very much. Her whole bearing, her whole demeanor. Oz, how are you? Nice to see you. She has always brought a certain amount of grace and loveliness here to the Rancho, and many of you have noticed that. And yeah, I hope she has many more years here. It's been, you know, she's been engaged in many projects. She's met many people. We've traveled quite extensively. We took that wonderful 7,636-mile epic journey in 17 days across the U.S. from Santa Rosa to Reno to, I guess we pushed on to, well, we were Salt Lake, and then Salt Lake to Denver, Colorado Springs, to her old home in Missouri, then on to Ohio, and then into Baltimore, and then on south. It was quite an amazing journey, and it was really, so far to me, really the highlight of her whole being, her whole experience out here on the Rancho. Hello, Ted. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well today. So all of you have personal memories that you have of Jen. One of my funniest was when Jen first met the boss and Janet, and of course we were doing moonshining back then for fun, and it wasn't long, maybe an hour after the boss had met Missy Jenn, and he took the big wooden spoon we used to use for stirring up the mash right on her butt. And then I knew she was part of the family here. It was great. And I love that. You like that fireplace? Yeah, it's, you know, here it is, April 1st. It really doesn't, you know, I really feel like summer really begins around here, like May 1st, not April 1st. And the rainy season typically ends the 15th. Somewhere around tax day, we get the rainy season out of the way, and then we have clear skies and great weather until sometimes December. Sometimes we have very light rainy seasons. This was a particularly bad one, a particularly heavy one. It's been a very draining winter on a lot of people. I know. That's for darn sure. I want to particularly thank Joey D. Out here, it's not often I get a chance, and Joey D doesn't like it when I signal him out in the chat. But he's always been such a wonderful friend, and just a love of Missy Jenn's and I, United States Air Force vet, and just a trooper. Never complains about anything. Just always proud, strong, and just a wonderful person. And also my friend Tara. It's not often I tell you, Tara, how much you really mean to me and mean to Missy Jenn, but you really mean the world to us, and we love you from the bottom of our hearts. Okay, so thank you on behalf of Missy Jenn. Nothing like manners. You know, I had an experience today where somebody had come back to the community after being AWOL, and their fiance flamed me up on a comment section in my video. And I'm going to just say there's nothing like manners. Give people a chance. This particular person had been, I don't know whether it was multiple channels over time, and was blocked off, and then came in on another channel, and we made peace. I thought everything was all good. We were good to go, and then must have come in on the other channel, the old channel, and tried to comment today. And the old channel still blocked. You know, I don't have many things on the block list, but it's not like every day I go into the block list. It's a lot of work down there. You got a million Carlos Martinez's to take that up. There's a lot of people down there. And it's a commitment to go in there. When you have a chat with 200, 300, 400, 500 people, it can get a little bit crazy. So I'm saying have some manners. Give people a break. And, you know, give people a little chance to make things right. How you doing, Nicole? Give people a chance to make things right before you go off on people. Okay, it just seems like it's the right thing to do. How you doing today, Nicole? Welcome to 2015. Well, I don't know I never know what the future holds. I'm always very hopeful. Hey, Prepping, how are you? You know, I'm just saying, give people a chance before you flame people and name call. Give people a chance to ask people nicely. Okay, say, hey, I thought we were cool, but evidently it's still on the block list. Could you check that? And maybe rectify that, you know, anything to do with family. Nicole, take that out, please. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right. So I need moderators to be on top of that. Okay. So please, you know, don't allow that in this evening. What else did I want to say? Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them. So I'm saying, please. Oh, you're getting your bloods done in a few hours. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just, I don't want anybody coming in under, you know, Marshall's family's name. Okay. All right. So that's what that is. Just so we know about that. So thank you, Nicole. Okay. Now, what else I want to say? So yeah, please give people a chance to before you open the Bombay doors, boom, and go nuclear on people. Give them a chance to get things straightened out on their end. Okay, that's the bottom line, and it's got nothing to do with personal animosity. It's got to do with administrative things that have to be done that weren't done or were messed up. Many on YouTube this evening need manners. What a matter. Well, boo, you know, I don't get involved in a lot of the things on there. I'll be judged on my record here of caring and trying to be uplifting, and it does not matter to me what a very small, tiny core of people say or do. You gotta be strong here to be on YouTube, and you got to keep your head up high, and you got to keep pushing forward. How you doing, Dagan? Keep pushing forward and being you. Don't let people pull you off of your mark. Okay, that's my bottom line. Be positive. Keep doing the things that you do, and don't get tied down with the distractions of YouTube. Okay, keep yourself happy, keep yourself positive, and when you can, try to help other people. Now, tonight's event, and I want to just check on Missy Jenn 1 second. Just hold on 1 second. All right, JK, welcome to you. And what I want to talk about, Missy's doing good. Just making sure she's all settled down for the night. Hey, Nick, what I want to talk about tonight is this whole concept. I know Marshall had a hangout last night. Hey, Coachisms, really enjoyed getting your commentary. Thank you very much. Nick said the Lisa Marie is garbage. Well, is it or isn't it? The question is, when you have a 30-year-old RV, he went on and talked about it. Elvis Travels talked about it last night. And normally I wouldn't talk about it, but he used my name liberally in terms of the rebuilding project. And would it be worth just selling that rig or rebuilding it? Well, Nicole, I have a benefit that you've not had. I've seen the van in person. I know the bones of these Coachman Class B camper vans. The fact that there's still quite a number out there is testament to the fact that the basic bones, the basic build quality is decent in them. But the question is, should you even consider rebuilding a 30-year-old camper van? Because the work to really do a first-class job, yeah, needs a, well, I don't know about a shower and no worries, Dagan. This is what we're going to talk about tonight. Because to me, a restoration is not just putting a new floor in and calling it done. To me, and maybe some of you aren't familiar, I had a 1988, a year older than Marshall's camper van, Coachman Class B camper van. I did enough things, got it real nice, paid to have some upholstery work done, and I ended up flipping the thing for a great profit, okay? They're decent, well-built rigs, okay? But you're always facing the fact that they are 30 years old. And when you drive, yes, hey, Smooth, how are you doing? And when you drive them for any length of time, particularly on the road, okay, take care, Nicole. Particularly for any length of time, things rattle apart, seams open up, leaks develop. Oh, you have 1977 Dodge camper van. Okay. They're terrible on gas mileage, 8 to 10 miles to the gallon. So, yeah, if you pulled a Just Incredible type rebuild on it, you might get the return on investment. That's true. the thing is, when you're talking about a restoration on a camper van or a vehicle that's 30 years old, it's a process that has to be done very carefully, and it has to be done to a decent standard. And you cannot just take things and push them around in the rig. You can't just say, well, I'll put a refrigerator over here, or I'll just shift the water tank to the back, and I'll do this, and I'll pull out the cabinets here. All of these things, when you take a thing like the Lisa Marie, how you doing, Perfect? When you take a rig like the Lisa Marie that already has a very heavy high top on it. Remember, these are high top camper vans. This boat on top, which is basically an upside down boat, helps to bring that total vehicle weight to 8,800 pounds. And that center of gravity is already pretty high. Take care, Nicholas. Have a good one. No problem. You unsub, move on. There's 287 million other channels to watch out there. Enjoy. Okay, I got plenty of people coming on every day that love the content, so no hard feelings. Enjoy. You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. So the problem is, when you start to work on these rigs, you already have a vehicle that has a high center of gravity in it. And when you start, it's not as simple as starting to push. Yeah, thank you, Joey D. It's not as simple as just shifting things around, because you have to consider the weight distribution. You have a suspension system that's 30 years old. And remember, the suspension system never gets a day off. Okay? Even when that thing is sitting there, that suspension system is under stress. Okay? And when you start jacking around things on the interior, moving things from one, well, let's just pop this here, and there's considerations of the engineering. And Shannon says she gutted hers and it was a nightmare. It has to be totally gutted. And to really do a thorough job, you actually need to get that put underneath the tree. You need to remove the windows on the high top. And using pulleys in the winch, you have to remove that high top member off of it. Because what you have now is just leaks. And all the caulking and all of the stuff. How you doing, Joe King? All the caulking, all the work is not going to be a long-term. Restoration means that you take that thing right down to the nuts. All the cabinetry comes out. All the sidewalls come out. The ceiling, the works. It all comes out of that rig. And anybody that thinks that that's a 1 week or 2 week, a 1 month job, maybe full time, 1 month to 6 weeks. Fiberglass needs a lot of attention. There's a lot of restorative fiberglass work that needs to be done. You need to actually, hey, Johnny Watt, you need to actually develop a scale model floor plan. And you need to actually look at that floor plan, move things around, and see where things not only make livability sense, but also for weight distribution and safety on the road. See, I mean, you might take an exit a little faster than normal. And I know Marshall drives like a grandma. Hey, Robert. But sometimes in an emergency situation, if you have to swerve or something like that, you'd like to think that the van is not going to fall over. to me, with all that top weight, you have to have considerations when you start raising. Yeah, this is a rerun in some ways, but not another. How you doing, my secret account? But thanks for throwing that in. But I'm just trying to give people an idea of what it is. Well, stand there and ask questions. But the thing is, the main consideration, and Tammy Wooten hit the nail on the head. The number one consideration is that drivetrain has to be worth it. That drivetrain has to be worth it. That engine, that transmission, that drive to the rear axle, the differential, all that stuff has to be worth it. Hey, Jessica, Jennifer. Now, in my mind, given the age, that's not a killer factor for the drivetrain. Many of you who are mechanically inclined may agree. I mean, if I've seen people restore 1896 motors, tons of 1929 Model A's, and even original ones still going strong. Yeah, it's a lot less work to replace the drivetrain. It is, but it's a lot more money. Installing a crate engine. So the first factor is, when you think about it, is does the drivetrain. This is not particular to Elvis. This could have been my RV, the 1988 Coachman camper van. He has the 89. So the first consideration, I wouldn't even touch it if there was a chance that the drivetrain was not good on that vehicle. And the one big plus, although maintenance has not been done to a super high standard, remember that vehicle's not driven very much. The Lisa Marie is typically driven into a town, and then it's basically, well, I think Norm F may supply the money. I don't know. Perhaps. I don't speak for the Canadian Clipper, Norm F, but you sure know it's going to take some money to do it. But the main thing is that drivetrain. And because it's very localized, there's a lot of transmission wear and tear on local travel. But that's pretty good. Well, this is what we're talking about tonight, Marcel. This is why I heard this last night. I was alerted to the fact that my name was being liberally dropped in his live stream last night about whether Rosie should rebuild it or it should just be sold. And this is what I want to talk about this evening. Why is he under the impression? I guess because back in, what was it, November or December, I did a very detailed, it was detailed, but I did a flight of fantasy. I said, if I had a thought, what if the Lisa Marie was mine? What would I do? How would I make it nice again? And I've restored 1951 Chrysler Crown Victoria, Imperial, 68 Mustang. I've restored lots of stuff. 62 Chevy Biscayne. There's a lot of things but the big decision, should it just be sold, or should a major restoration be taken to that? And that's the thing. Some people Lynn said he is not planning on helping do the work. He's planning on being it too. I mean, it's sometimes if you're doing that work, it's almost a blessing. No offense, no shade, but the way that Marshall sealed those front windows on the front was Horrifying. Up on the upper deck, you know, where you have the upper sleeping berth up there. It has to be, do a GoFundMe for the rebuild. It wouldn't be me. You know, I don't have, you know, that mentally invested in that, JK. I got my own fish to fry. But if you're gonna volunteer somebody else to do the work, which I'm not saying I wouldn't do. Like I said, there's some aspects to it that really appeal to me from a craftsmanship point of view and from a restorative point of view. You can visualize, if you can put your mind around it, and you can see that Lisa Marie with a very high, you know, buff satin finish on the side with nice stripes and things re-chromed on it. Bumpers pulled, re-chromed, trailer hitch with a rear gasoline, you know, the gasoline rack, and then the generator rack for an outboard generator. You really got something there. Well, Dagan, it's okay. Well, Cobra John, I have one small advantage, and I do respect your opinion. I've done a lot of rebuilding, and you can either visualize something or you can't. The one small advantage I have over you is that I've A, ridden in the vehicle, B, I've seen the vehicle several times, I've heard the vehicle, and I know that mechanically it's fairly sound. Yeah, bumper plate, chrome plating. I'm just saying, if you were going to do an all-out restoration, and I can't even recall what shape the bumper's in, but that all-out restoration involves reconfiguring that whole floor plan. So that a way to bathe is reintroduced into that rig. You know, everybody talks, and it's not just Marshall, it's people that have the road tracks and people that have the aisle showers. They love that aspect that you can put a curtain around, stand in your aisle, lift up the you know, they have a lid that goes down and flush with the floor. You lift it up and set it aside, and the shower pan is right there, and it can support the weight. Now, when you're talking about things like solar panels, now remember, this rig has, I don't know, how many miles on it? 57,000 miles. Yeah, it did have a shower and it did have a toilet. The problem with these camper vans, Miss Kitty, the problem with these camper vans is this fiberglass of these showers, these bathtubs, is a very cheap. It's a styrene. It's not a really good quality of fiberglass. How you doing, Becca? So when you, after a certain amount of years with ultraviolet light that penetrates, with dry climate, it becomes brittle and it cracks. And I've never seen one of these camper vans, maybe Coates is, I don't know, but I've never seen one of these camper vans myself that it was not cracked in the bottom. Mine was pre-cracked when I got it. So for me, it was no big deal. I wasn't going to pull the toilet out. It's really nice to be able to use a toilet in the middle of the night. I mean, a real toilet. But there wasn't any way I was going to pull the toilet out. But I did lose the shower. I converted that, as you guys remember, those of you who are in the channel, I put extra storage back there, a tremendous amount of additional storage. I would never miss a shower because that shower was useless anyway. It was cramped in a corner. You had to stand in a tub that was cracked, and it was lousy. Better to just yank a piece of crap. How you doing, Sean? Yeah, thank you, Scratch Card. Those old vans drive like and their welfares are. I would love to have your old GMC. Yeah, I know, Cobra John. I'll give you the phone number of that. Restoration would cost a lot on it. The clear coat is gone. It's gonna need paint. It's really the inside that's the key. Okay, remember this is a metal sided van. This is not a Class A camper van with laminated sheets on the side of it. This is a E250 van. And then on top of that, they put a boat hull upside down on top of it. That's what you're dealing with there. So you never have to worry about the lamination or anything like that. You actually have a more solid build than a lot of Class A. You'll find a lot more van campers out there than you will old Class A's and old Class B's. No, I mean old Class C's, because they do use that basic bottom van configuration of the E250 or the Chevy. 40 BBCs, Major, he got stuck in his toy and got something cracked. You know, these things are just crap. These tubs are just lousy. So what you need to do, it's okay, Becca. It's I didn't figure it would be a popular topic tonight, but since it was mentioned last night, I'm going to tear into this thing now and tell you to really do a first class job. It's probably going to take 6 weeks. And to do a first class job, you probably need, if you're going to put solar panels and things like that on it, you're going to need, you know, something on the order of $3,000 to $5,000 to do that job. How much could that thing be sold for now, as is, with nothing being done to it, without a working generator? A lot of people will take a chance. How you doing, Gigi? A lot of people will take a chance on a rig that doesn't have a working generator. They're not that damn hard to do. But maybe 7,000 as it is. Now, putting a new floor in, cleaning it up, removing some of the goo on the windows. Well, I think in my particular market here, Cobra John, hi Julie, in my particular area, I don't think with the mileage that it has, it would have a lot of difficulty bringing that price as is. I feel confident of that in this market. I see 85 ones that have 152,000 miles on it for $5,500. They look like crap on the inside. They're torn to bits. The cloth is hanging down everywhere. There are no window curtains. It's moldy. It's not smugged. It's not even in running condition. Well, then I'm going to suggest that you go on Craigslist and look in the Bay Area there and look at the selection. You'll see some camper vans. Check them out. Look at the prices on there. I don't know when the last time. Yeah, it idles a lot, but people aren't going to know that to potentially purchase that. And that engine, yeah, and asking price is not now. If you were to clean it up some, the exterior, clean up the interior, find a replacement toilet, which is not that hard to find, slap in a black tank, then I have no hesitation in saying that that could go for the 7 to 8 in this market. I think it would get smogged, Johnny Watt. I smogged my 1988 with no problem. And it had higher mileage, and it had sat for 3 years and didn't run. See the project, but not at others' expense and hard work. Yeah, use the interiors. The whole thing. Yeah, Joey, he got his new rig. The whole thing needs to be removed. The whole thing needs to be gutted. He had the front end examined by a shop, and I think that the front end is actually in pretty good shape. I think it's the tires that really need to be changed out. Oh, I don't know. It's not necessary. He's here, Joe Smith. I wasn't in his hangout last night. And it's not the usual fare of the people that come into my hangout, but it's something that I wanted to talk about tonight. Since I was offered up last night, no doubt he'll be firing up a hangout later and talking about it, which is fine. So when you're talking about removing every bit of stuff on the inside and pulling it all out, junking it, you're building a custom bed in the back, you want to have solar, you need to have extra storage for not one house battery, but 3 or 4 house batteries, and the weight has to be evenly distributed. Yeah. Well, he was asking about what I had on the, he was asking what I had on the Little Rascal, my 88. And I had the Goodrich LT. You have to have light truck. You can't have regular passenger cars or the tires are jelly. It's like riding on gummy bears, okay? You need something that is stiff wall tires that aren't going to be like riding on gummy bears. Now the question is, what could Marshall possibly bring to the equation there to do that job? Bull power, muscle. But this is something that requires precision planning. Once you get it out and you just basically have that floor, you need to actually, yeah, I'm saying, JK, I'm saying you need a scale model. You need to actually do a layout of that internal configuration. Put that together. And then you can actually start shifting things like how big should the custom built bed be in the back? How should the battery bay, where should that be sitting? Where should the water tank go? What do you do with the generator bay? What do you do with all the switching from shore power to generator? How are you going to incorporate that with an external generator? How are you going to feed that? A little bit, Marcel. How you doing, Martin? So you're talking about a lot of work, and to really do a first class job, you're talking about probably If you did it on the cheap, like I said before, about $2,500. What does $2,500 get you? It gets you gutted. It gets the floor raised inside. It gets an aisle shower put in. And remember, that's the key, raising the floor up 4 inches. It doesn't have to be raised the whole. No, I was joking back if somebody came in and trolled that question. So I gave it right back to him. No, he does not have a new rig. It's something that would have to be taken care of. Well, I'm not surprised. Nick. This is not for his benefit. This is a question whether I would get involved in it. And the question would be the amount of work involved and what would be my payoff in that. There's pay it forward, and then there's really pay it forward. It's all well and good to do it, but it's still a lot of work, and it's work that's got to be done in a precision way. You actually have to build a floor and then make sure that is perfectly, that whole configuration can just slide in and go up where it needs to go, allowing for side panels to be put on. It's precision work that has to be done to a high standard. Does it make sense to do it, or does it make sense to sell it and take the money and use that towards a wide body? Yeah, you need solar panels for the roof. There is a lot of roof area. Yeah, you'd hope that somebody else would get it paid for. Do I enjoy those type of challenges? Of course I do. The precision fit things so that they fit perfectly. So you basically have a sandwich of 2 pieces of marine plywood separated by 4-inch stringers so that you can actually carry that in, sit it down, and have a new raised floor in that rig. A raised floor that allows you to put a shower pan into it, put venting out the side. It's an interesting thing to think about. How you doing, Kit and Cat? I'm all about cute. Why doesn't he go to the RTR where they do build outs? I haven't seen any build outs at the RTR. I don't even know how long the RTR lasts. You're talking about a 6-week project here. 6, yeah, just entertaining the idea. Because it's possible that money's going to be on the scene. Yeah, you remember the burnt out van you filmed? I have one of them. It's a 76 hippie van. There you go. Yeah, singing benefit. RTR only does one project, not complete builds. Okay. Yeah, there's the cost of building materials. Hey, Susan Brown, it's high. But the question is, what's in it for me? I don't mean to sound mercenary. Yeah, I have the skills to do it. But remember, a project like that also cuts into my travel time too. Yeah, just take the money. Yeah, take it out on 99.99 buffets. To me, well, that's it, kitten cat. I mean, I don't mind the fall, you know, after being in Florida and then coming back. I plan on being here November, December anyway, because of the holiday season. But the question is, you have to have some benefit to yourself too. And although I do enjoy the carpentry, although I do enjoy the restoration work, it seems to me that the better solution may be to just sell me that rig and take some money and put it towards a wide body. That way, yeah, Becca, that way I'm sort of thinking you get money in hand and I get something that I can take my time on and really make a showpiece. And at the end of it, it's something that benefits me, something I can use. Yeah, it could be a nostalgia rebuild, then sell to a trendy millennial RV couple. And there's people out here that they don't give a shit about money. Some of these people from Silicon Valley, they think nothing of dropping 25, 50, 75, $80,000. Okay, sweetie. Thank you, Cobra John. Yep, that's me, Nick. I'm the most talked about member in the RV community. Well, let's just say what retains the smell in a rig? It's the materials inside. It's the cloth, it's the flooring, it's the food that gets down between cracks in the floor. So if you're gonna do, how you doing, Jill? So if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. The whole thing's got to be gutted. The whole interior down got to be primed again, primed and painted. Yeah, you rehab and sell for profit. He's going to expect more. If I did the van, he'd never want to sell the damn thing again. It would be good. I don't flex seal seats. Yeah, why not take the money to buy it and put it into a wide body? So these are the question. How you doing, Yujiro? Semper Fi, my friend. Very nice to see you. The cheap basic build out is gut the thing, reinstall it. Some type of composting toilet. Yeah, you see the price. I went to the RV show. I saw the price of rigs. I saw what happened to the price over the last 3 years of especially Class Bs. You can hardly even find them out here. You can hardly even find them. So when you think about getting in there and doing that work, when you think about the plumbing, the electrical, the reconfiguring the water, just simple things like where the water fill is going to be reconfigured to, because now the water tank is in the back over the axles. You just got to think about things like batteries and putting them in. Where's that weight going to be distributed? It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't think so, Ed. All that fabric's got to go. It's all got to be taken out. The whole damn thing. Yep. So when he addresses it, and I know he's watching now. I know he's watching the chat right now. Do you have to really answer what's in it for somebody that's doing all that work? The glory? That's the real question. Stripped to metal, sandblasted, and all that. Hey, how you doing, Oda May? You have to unsub the channel and resub, and then hit all notification bells. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only glory to me is I know is that thing rides down the road that I did the craftsmanship. Oh, he's watching. That I did the craftsmanship on that. That I made that happen. Humble Road YouTube channel. He's making a camper. That's really good. Okay, Kev. Thank you. Humble Road. Okay, that's cool. Listen, Kitten Cat said it'll be a clown show watching him boss you around. I'm not kidding when I tell you in this marketplace, and you guys can open up another browser window. You can go to Craigslist. You can look at Craigslist, the San Francisco Bay Area marketplace, and just put in camper vans. Take a look, then put in Class B RVs. These things go for a lot of money out here. A lot of people can't afford housing in the Bay Area, where a studio apartment in San Francisco goes for $2,500 a month, and you'll never see the sunshine. You'll be down in some rat hole in the basement. Both Nicholas Bowen. I'm not driving it anywhere. You know, come to Texas. Not so much for me, but if you brought it into this marketplace, what they're sold for. Yeah, I'd like to get one. It's in Texas too. That's a pretty good climate. I would take a shot on driving it. I think it would make it okay, but I don't see the need for me to drive anything. Yeah, you could get a driver to pick it up. Yeah, that's a consideration too. To road from now, less than 15, not a shot wagon. Oh, get some s'mores ready. We're going to have a van burning ceremony, huh? The question is that I asked Marshall, and the question you have to address is what, as a friend, there have been some rough patches for sure. What's the, besides the obvious feel-good factor of having a quality production and a quality piece? What are you prepared to offer to make this happen? Yeah, well, I do that anyway, Kitten Cat, on twice a year. We have repair days around the county here where we volunteer time to go put siding on or replace windows or doors or jack up porches and put some new foundation material under it. Hey, Elbow Babbles. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear the answer to that. Not to sound too mercenary, but what are you prepared to offer me? What's in it for me? You know, we have the hospitality of the Rancho here. Obviously, we have a place to stay, a very comfortable place, a self-contained apartment unit. But as the Chinese say, are you going to come kong so? Kong so. Empty-handed? You know, it's one thing for airline vouchers and miles. It's another thing for a van build out. That's a big project. That's a big project. So I'm kind of interested in hearing that. I think that's a respectful thing to ask. There's no downside to asking that. If we look at it this way, if, and I say if, and I don't put words into the Canadian Clippers' mouth, aka the chairman of the board, Norm, I don't put words into the Canadian Clippers' mouth. But let's just say theoretically that the Canadian Clipper was willing to fund this. Let's theoretically say Rosie O'Kelly was willing to build this, to make this project happen. I do have time. Number three, and most importantly, as the third leg of the stool, what are you going to bring to the project? Norm or Mr. M, Mr. Moneybags, Mr. M, Rosie, what are you going to bring to the process? We all got to bring something to the table. Is it labor? You know, are you going to be barbecuing and cooking our meals, putting tires on it in Georgia soon? Good. It's an honest to God, it's not a trolling question. It's a question I'm curious about. And I'm not here to tear anybody down. I'm not a person to tear people down on YouTube and make sport and to troll. I'm just saying, what are you prepared to do to make your dream come true? Like I told you, Shannon, for me, it's for me and Brandon. It's kind of fun. You know, I got nothing but time on my hands these days. I do help out in the community here. Missy Jenn and I do side things. I'm not going to wave a camera around in other people's homes or properties doing things, but I mean, we do things. Yeah, Holly said, I thought you did not want to tie up. Well, there's a certain time of year. Hey, Tater Tot. Yeah, maybe there's a certain wage to be paid. Maybe there's a certain labor benefit to be paid. Yeah, give you a big woo. Because when you tick it down, gutting it, disposing of materials, and this is California. You don't just, I don't do the shit that you see on the streets. I don't drive down to Oakland and just push the shit off to the International Boulevard and give the city of Oakland a big fat finger and tell them you deal with the problem. Everything's got to be properly disposed of. You got to have new wiring configurations. You want to have extra wiring for future. If you want to put accent lighting like Just Incredible has and pimp it out, and man, I'd love to do that. Pimp that out with lights that are circling inside. electrical considerations. There's the shore power to the switching from shore power to generator, incorporating an external generator, because let's face it, these own-ins, they're really the weak spot. Remove that whole own-in bay, use that area for something else, and just use an external Honda generator, but you still have to intelligently tie it into things, right? Pimp it out, yeah, and get it stolen the following week. I'm not building. I told him I was going to talk about this today. I know damn well he's watching out there. 100% guaranteed. Sitting there drinking that latte. But it's my show. Yeah, Bergs needs a van now too. Actually, the rust is very little considering the climate. So, when this subject comes up again, which it will, what are the questions that you guys think should be asked? Besides the obvious one. This thing would now have an aisle shower. It would have a dinette area in the front. The sofa would be gone. The swivel chairs, the captain's chairs, turn around. Biker Aussie! Thank you, my friend. The seat swivel. You have a really nice back building, back bed, custom made. Storage underneath for batteries, water tank. Solar system integrated in. Weather sealed. Yeah, you do what you like. Well, it's likely. Because sometimes having people involved, you guys know it requires a certain amount of, fabricating to do it the right way. Yeah, you're not going to put lead batteries inside. That's right. It's going to be the expensive jobs. Okay? I'd hate for that van to get stolen. Will this hold you back from your travels and streamer house? This would, if this was to happen, this would be November and into December. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of engineering. It's new cabinetry put in. It's new refrigerator. I guess in the Shine Shack, Cajun Kev. Yeah, Dave says, why waste of time and money? It's a case of polishing a turd. Last thing I had to put off my own. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be curious to hear what the answer is going to be, what he proposes to do. Well, Ghetto, this is my thought on that. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not financially putting in anything. I need every dime myself to be on the road, to do my own travels. Yeah, Optima yellow top battery, 320. You're talking about a $1,500 battery bank. Oh, thank you, This Girl's Journey. We're just having fun. No, John, I don't. So I guess I think that probably the best alternative, and probably the one that would cause the least problems, is just bringing it and doing the minimum amount of work to get that rig sold. Okay, now I would offer to be a buyer of that because for me, I would like the challenge of taking my time and doing my own restoration. Not under the gun, not with anybody leaning over me. We got to get going. I hate Santa Rosa. It's boring. Most of the city's burned down. There's nothing here. You know, can you fix his teeth too? But I think it's a legitimate question. Hey, Tiffy says hello. There we go. Thank you, Andres. To me, I think that's what I say, ghetto. It's a long shot. I mean, Norm obviously, he enjoys the content that I bring on the daily. He enjoys the content that Elvis brings. But it's enjoying content and stepping up to something like that. That's a quantum leap in, I don't know if I call it love or just support. That's almost like something you do for a son or a daughter when you're helping them buy a house or something like that. Like I said, I've talked to Norm. I look forward to meeting him and hanging out in Canada. I would never presume what to tell the Canadian Clipper to do. But I guess the other alternative is the base of support that he gets on YouTube. Yeah, it's a hypothetical here. You got any Molson? I'd love a Molson. Why me? Well, Dave, I have my own selfish motives for that. For me, I enjoy restoration projects. I undertook the Rancho and restored it. I've undertaken too many vehicles to count and done restoration projects on them. For me, there's that enjoyment factor of working with my hands and making something like my Gmail says I can make it better than I can make it like new. Now that's honest, that's straight up. But you remember, you also have the pressure of doing the work to someone else's standards and specifications. Sometimes I think it's better to just make an offer on the vehicle or try selling the vehicle in the open market, do the least amount of work, clean it up, put in a new toilet in the back, put some new flooring down, and just sell the vehicle. Like I said, I don't think there'd be a lot of difficulty. In this marketplace, selling a vehicle like that for cleaned up about $8,000. Yeah, I'm interested in the challenge, Mr. Z, but I'm also interested too in doing, as you guys know, I love being on the road. I love people. I love bringing that content. And it's just every bit as watchable and it draws just as many views as what he does on his State of the Steering Wheel. But I do enjoy the challenge aspect of that. So when I heard the hangout last night and I heard Marshall mentioning Rosie, I can do the work. The money comes in. I come in. I think it's only right that that you also bring something to the table. As the ultimate beneficiary, you are the ultimate beneficiary of any remodel job. You have a rig that's potentially good, if you take care of it, potentially good for 100,000 more miles. Has a wonderful external generator that's not going to break down. It has solar feeding a battery bank. the disco lights, the entertainments, the integrated karaoke system, the whole freaking thing, waterproof, comfortable. Let's see. Ghetto says, what specific job would you leave to Elvis? Gutting the vehicle. Turning wrenches and removing sofas, removing flooring. That type of thing. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah. I don't know who has title to the van. But I certainly think that that's something, a gut job, certainly somebody with a big build is certainly equipped to do that type of work. But the interior layout work, the electrical stuff has to be done. It has to be fuse protected. The solar has to be fuse protected. The cabling has to be the right thickness. The interchanges with the 12-volt system, the taps off for 12 volts, the transformers, all that stuff takes a lot of, you don't want to die in a fire. You don't want to die in a fire. Yeah, there's, you're looking at possible channel neglect. That's true. It's something I've never done. That caulking would be removed on the front windows. The windows would be removed. The proper black sealant would be put on, and they would be resealed and remounted. Yeah. But all those internal measurements, they have to be precise. Scale model, floor plan has to be put on paper so that you can actually move things around and talk about weights and all that. So, but I wanted your honest feedback, because there's no doubt he'll go live later and discuss it. Zib News says, burn, baby, burn. I think the top end of a rebuild like that would be about $5,000. That I think is a real 6 is a luxury build with really top quality refrigerator, all that stuff. That mold has to be, all the flooring has to be. Ghetto said, Elvis says he has a lot of mold in the van. How would you take care of that? All that, everything wood, all of that sink area, you actually have to remove that old sink pedestal, and it's just got to be gutted. It's just got to be thrown out. You can go to plenty of shops and find extras, factory little imperfections and things that you can fit up new things. But that wood down at the bottom of the sink, it's all rotted in that area. It's all got to be removed. Walking might be cheaper. Hey, good night, Mr. Z. Thank you. Take it to a nuclear testing site. What would you replace the counter? I would get a composite material, Marcel, man. A light composite material like a durian. It's just prefab piece around and just fit it to a single basin tub sort of stand. Yeah, that's the feedback I wanted to. That's why I wanted to hear what you guys had to say tonight, Blinky. Yeah, the tires are sort of a separate issue. You got to get decent tires on that rig. So this is what I'm curious about. What you would bring to the party? Restoration should be factory for its value, shouldn't Yeah, I'm definitely in the market, Gigi. As far as my own, and this will be tomorrow night, I'll be talking about my futures a little more crystal clear now. What I'm looking at buying, it's a little more clear now. What I'm thinking of buying. Yeah, that's probably the option that I would offer. What I would do is make an offer on it, you know, net of transport. You know, it has to be here. I'm not paying to transport it in, but make an offer for it and then have it sit here and just have it be a slow restoration project. And one day wheel that thing out and show people something like that. And in the meantime, I'm of course looking for my own Class B. Yeah, don't get a van with an upside down boat on top. Agreed. Buy something. Well, look, that's what I'm doing, Gigi. I'm looking for something that's in the range of about 20,000. You mad, bro? Rosie, I just feel like Marshall is the type to take when the take is good, but he'd dump you in a heartbeat. Look. Here's my take on Marshall. Marshall's all about the views. Marshall's about, but he's been a friend also. You know, I'm not going to deny that. There's been some, some times I've had some. There's been some things he's done for me. I've had a few low moments. Missy Jenn's had a few low moments when he's come in. Showed a lot of heart. He's bought some things, bought meals before. I mean, he has expressed some love. There is some basic things that he has done. And I'm going to tell you that, guys, right now, honestly. There's been times, vehicles, vans, when he has given me sound advice. I know some people are going to hate it when I say it, but many times he's been a friend. When I've been down and lent me a word of support or just, a pat on the back and say, don't sweat it. Tomorrow's another day. I know it's not something you're used to hearing here on here, but I have to be truthful. Yes, it's all views. It's all a business. But there is something in there. And I get a little bit of the benefit of that. Not all the time. For me, I don't really care if somebody's like, I'm business, this is my life. It's not my life, although I love it. I do well at it. I'm happy about it. I try to be positive. I don't get involved in a lot of the other dramas. I don't drag people and do all that kind of crap. But I don't have to depend on it for my livelihood or to put money in a pocket. He does. It's like he's that poker player that has to push all in and this is my shot. This is my life. Yeah, I can't finish the Admiral's plate. I couldn't either, Smooth. But I'm getting tired of being ripped off in the food world. I like that. Ghetto said Elvis talks so much he's bound by law of averages to say the right thing on rare. You've been venting all day. Well, you know, I guess I reached the point, Ed, honestly, in 2017 where I didn't feel like it was my place to any longer tell people what to do with their lives. In other words, if you say, I'm all in, this is my business, this is my life, then I say, go for it. Try not to stomp on people. Try to give somebody a helping hand. Try to give somebody a little hand up once in a while. But good luck to you. And that's it. I never had a friend who cost me money for friendship. Well, I think a lot of us do, Gigi. A lot of us have our own demons, our own things that we fight with, our own ways we need to be better. Yeah, I would say, Marcel, that the van in this market could probably bring about what he paid for, because that's the way the market is shifted here. Oh, okay. Well, you know. Tasha does her thing, right? Anyway, yeah, I don't want resentments. She passed the bar exam, eh? Unleash Tasha in a law library. Yeah, I think some people are loners. I'm probably the opposite. I think he's very happy to be alone in his own world, and I'm kind of the opposite, that I enjoy being around a lot of people. Yeah. More people are having to rely on RVs to have, and the market knows. I know, Marcel, I've seen it in the last 3 years, especially out here in the Bay Area. When the cost of a one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco is studio is $2,500. Even that shithole I was walking in Oakland, an 1896 constructed home off one block off International Boulevard in a rat-infested shithole, still sheets for $600,000. I see so many people living in their vehicles now. There's so many people living in conversion vans, um, minivans. What's the story on the no drinking? You man, bro, said, Rosie, what's the story on the no drinking? If you're coming, I drink a lot. I'm a binge drinker, you mad, bro. And with Lent coming up, I wanted to see if I could give up alcohol for 40 days. And tomorrow will mark 1 month, 28 days. So it's the longest in my life by a long shot I've ever not had something to drink. You buy some land. I'd love to have a Michelob Ultra. Thank you, JK. It's been 28 days, 1 month tomorrow night. I don't want to repeat the Stewie incident. That's right, Nomadic Tater Tot. I own that. A lot of people overreacted. I underreacted. Okay. Yeah, drinking has been a problem with me all of my life. Yes. And In-N-Out Burger. Hey, Davey. Good evening. Yeah, or Richard, you need to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then hit the notification bell again for all notifications. Got some Michelob, Rosie. Been saving it to drink with you. When you come to Tennessee, are you camping? I'm going to be in my van. Thank God I have a home and return. That's right, Joe Smith. You've earned it. You've earned the glory of that. For all I get a lot of people that the notification bells are not working. Yeah, Norm going to have the time. Well, you know, Norm is certainly an enigma. The Canadian Clipper. You bet, Joe Smith. I'm glad you have that. You seem like you have it all together. It's, you know, Ghetto, when you can sit down on a hangout and pound back 10 beers. Ooh, let's see. Marcel Mann said landlords are asking exorbitant fees in the bottom line, which charge $600 non-refundable pet fee for a chihuahua. Wow. Well, Zibby, we don't really know Norm's life. You know, we don't know. We just know he's a successful person and a person that's had a lot of heart. A person that's very selective about where he demonstrates that love. And, you know, I have no hesitation saying thank you, and I'm appreciative of what he does for me. For how long it lasts, I don't know. But the important thing is to be thankful and grateful for that. But I'm pretty sure I'm doing RV. Yeah, just make sure it's your thing, Gigi. Moving into an RV is a difficult thing. God can take your craving. Yeah, pray but believe it. Well, for me, I've already proven, Laura, that I could go 1 month. I'm okay. I don't think about it that much. Do I look forward to drinking again? Yes. Do I feel like I have control over my drinking now? Yes, I do. And that was a very important thing. Oh, you've had several RVs. That's great. Why don't people care about Elvis? Encourage him to get a normal job. I think that ship has already sailed, Ed. I wonder if that 10,000 that Tucker went through. That was just a little skit that Tucker was running one night that I was aware of. Thank you, Laura. Kicked out of RV parks. I only saw one video from RV Lady a couple weeks ago. Do a toll from Elvis fans and yours. Yeah, do a toll. So let's do a little quick poll here. We got 160 people watching tonight. How many people in here now think that the RV should just be sold? Press 69 and press 96 if you think that it should be rebuilt. Like to hear you guys. You've heard the whole thing tonight. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys think. Yeah, Kim, my drinking has gotten me into all kinds of problems over the years. So it seems like the overwhelming majority of people think that the best thing is probably to sell the rig and take the money. There it is. In fact, I've not seen one person that thinks 96 that it should be their elbow babbles. Okay, No Name Clown says it should be rebuilt. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty clear. There it is. That's a pretty definitive. Statement. These are all people that know this rig well. Do not lose your views. Yeah, I'd definitely be a buyer. I would buy the rig, but I would not do a fast restoration. I would park it and take my time and just do a real first-class job on that. And you may do better to take that money and maybe somebody would hold a note to finance a wide body or something like that. It could be much more modern and a much better piece of equipment. As is 7. Yeah, put some damn lug studs. That's not the worst thing in the world. In this market, yeah, I would pay 7 for it. Yeah, a lot of the time in craft. Well, but Kim, it would be for me. You know, at the end of the day, it would be my rig. Hey, Green Bay Wacky says, I know RVs well. I have a 1987 C-Class, done some rebuilds. All right. All right. Yeah, I think given the mileage, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be the one to hold paper, that's for sure. Oh, well, if that engine, I really have to question that engine burning oil with that mileage, you know. Quart of oil every 500 miles would indicate, which is very unusual. Well, May, when I did a more closer examination of the market, and I would tell everybody again to go in, look at the San Francisco Craigslist market, which is the definitive marketplace for RVs. Look up camper vans, look up Class Bs. The raggediest, crappiest 1980 conversion van is going to be a $5,000 item. And then you take it from there. Well, I'm thinking Green Bay Wacky if I had to make an offer on that rig. I have to look the rig over, Stubby. You know, I have to check the rear main seal. There's a lot of things to start clinking off of that. But I'm saying I've got to take a look at it. I've got to take a look at the engine. I've got to do a compression test on the cylinders. I got to see, you know, when, hey, sugar cane, yeah, you can sleep with me. That's all right. Because if something's burning a quart of oil for 500 miles, that's way out of whack. Well, Brandon, I would travel too. Yeah, I'd have to compression test the engine myself. I have my own compression testing equipment. That's exactly it, Joe Smith. You've got to see that van first. You know, that's the thing. What type of front or bottom? I like camper vans, Green Bay Wacky. I love the small aspect of them. I like the fact that they're easy to park. I was terrified driving a Class A. Okay, it was just too big for me. I had tail swing. I had all kinds of stuff. I hope you're doing well, Green Bay Wacky. JK's like, I'm about to blow a gasket. Look at the marketplace here and understand that even rigs that have 150,000 miles, twice the mileage that Marshall's rig has, are still bringing, you know, 8, 7, 8. Burning oil is why he doesn't change the oil, because he says after 1,000 miles the oil was changed. I don't know. That's a high. I never got the sense when I was there in Florida when it was running that it was burning oil. So yeah, maybe we'll sell shares in an RV, right? Yeah, it could be Joe Smith. It needs some examination. Yeah, I wouldn't go by Cali prices, but that's what, you know, it's what the market is here. It's comfortable. Mine's a 31 for basic, a 1-ton dually with a camper on it. Still drives like a big. Yeah, the Class A's just shake apart too much. Ash, how are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. I'm giving that as the top price that I would do. You know, the top. I could never imagine coming lower than you know, with a 1989, I couldn't imagine coming lower, ever lower than like 6 in this market. I mean, look at the crap that's out there. It's moving because people are so desperate in this market for, so, you know, when you're making 150,000 a year and you can't even afford a house because it's $1 million, man, you're living in a camper van and stuff. So, okay, Smooth says it doesn't burn oil. I would really be shocked if, yes, Class 8s have a lot of blown 454 Chevys, 455 Olds. Yeah. I'm going to see hitting the road for a bit, or just right now until May. Missy Jenn has her infusion at the end of April. So as soon as the weather gets good, I'm going to boondock overnight at Point Reyes Station. Have some fun down there, do an overnighter, cook for you guys, do all kinds of, show you what I do in my van. Norm says, Pneumatic Tater Tot says, my 45-foot Class A drives like a caddy. All must be driving crappy Class A's. I am. I'm not judging. I just have crap. I'm telling you, Tater Tot, I just have crap. That's all I have. I'm on the, remember, Tater Tot, I'm the window licker. I'm on the outside looking in, right? And let me tell each and every one of you, I'm so much better than you. And let me tell you trolls out there, you think that this is going to be a troll channel? Well, let me tell you, brother, you got another thing. I've had 2 RVs, Green Bay. I've had a 1974 GMC motorhome, like the one that was in stripes, and I had a 1988 Coachman Class B camper van. So 1 year older than Marshall's. It was nice. And this market snapped that up in an hour. And I made a fortune on that. Evil Abe's, how are you? You're still looking for windows to lick, so. Yeah, Gigi's like, I'm gonna be a city dweller. Yeah, it's me. I'm interested in being an urban boondocker always at all times. I'm not a you remember those, Joe Smith? How you doing, mobile mechanic? So as we wind down tonight, I just want to put that question out there that Marshall, you have to really think about what's in it for, you know, Rosie too. And what makes it work? You got capital, you got labor, you know, you got skills. What would make that work? For my mind, the best decision is probably to take that money, run with it, or do a simple fix up, sell it for a little bit of a higher price, or just fix it as you go and make it a long-term project. That might be a better thing to do. Yeah, that's it. Maybe for a day, Rosie, you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. Yeah, that's you, Tammy. You can't take the city out of me. I'm out there in the countryside of here. Woo, woo, woo. What was that? What was that? I mean, I'm used to small arms discharge, right? Gunfire, sirens, that's cool. People screaming, ah! But weird noises, hoot, 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 hoot. I'm all city. Wow, Green Bay, you've owned maybe 150 bumper pools. Man, what are you, an RV dealer? Holy shit. Green Bay Wacky, are you kidding me? Let's see. Jesus says, and I saw an RV overpriced, used all rusted out, bad pipes, trash things. It's a deal. Yeah, it's junk. Yeah, Marcel says, I've experienced but couldn't tell nothing until we opened the walls and seals. All right, tough guy. There we go. Oh, flips. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a nice chunk of money. Okay, from an RV. You got to be careful. I'm going to be dropping some videos this week from the RV show in Santa Rosa. And it was all bumper pulls and fifth wheels and some of the build quality. I want you to look at these videos on the Rosie Murphy channel. Make sure you're May. Put my Rosie Murphy channel link up, please. Make sure that you are subscribed to that. And then look as I take you around 2019, 2020 model year. And look at some of the horrendous build quality. Screws that aren't screwed into anything, into space, wood that's cut too short, corners, crappy cabinetry material that's basically decals. I'm telling you guys, it's frightening what's out there. Okay? You're going to be blown away when you see the shitty build quality, and yet the prices that there. This industry's got it too good right now. Okay? Yeah, like travel trailers, set up and still have a vehicle. I think that's the way some people feel about fifth wheels too, where it looks good now. And yeah, it's not even good. I mean, I'll show you up in ceilings where they put fantastic fans in. They're just screwing into, there's nothing there. It's just the headliner, right? And this thing's just hanging down. It's like they cut out for the fans too big so that you could see the light coming through the shroud on the side. It's like, holy shit. Yes, the guy, well, you know, I guess the guy had a bad day on Monday morning. It's like, what the fuck, man? You're charging $70,000 for this thing. Yeah, ultra mobility. Yeah, May, please put a link for my Rosie Murphy channel. Okay, no, I'm not in the RV, and just don't go trolling me now. But I know enough about RVs and build quality on fifth wheels and travel trailers to know, you know, where the action is. Thank you very much. Yeah, sub up the Rosie Murphy channel. Look at some of these videos I'm going to be dropping on the quality of this. The quality is very lacking. Okay, no problem, May. You always want to do a camper van. Camper vans are very hot. They hold their value. Hey, Davey. Yeah, Davey's got a 20-foot classic. See, camper vans, you get a lot in a small area. So the build, you know, they typically use vans so that you don't have fiberglass issues with delamination. You have metal van bodies, the E250 Econolines, that type of thing. Yeah, what happens in the van stays in the van. Which brands typically have a low build quality? I don't know. The high quality was the Lance. The Lance seemed to be a good quality. There was one begins with a K. I just can't think. I don't know. You have to look at the Murphy channel when I put them up. It was really surprising. It was really surprising. Camper van is homeless on wheels. So I don't know, Nomadic Tater Tot. I mean, it's a bit of stealth. It's a bit of, you know, for somebody like me that's scared of driving something large, like you have a 43-foot Class A. Man, I mean, I struggled with a 34-foot Class A, so I prefer the Ford. Good 351. I have a 96 in Top Gun Rebut, and that's nice. Yeah, these camper vans all got the nice. They got that nice 351. No, I'm not in the camper. I'm not in the RV industry. I'm not Larry. I'm not Bo. I know Marcel, man. I hated every minute driving that GMC. I hated that. Nomadic Tater Tot says I stealth camped in a Class B for 10 years. You just need to know how to do it. Yeah. Yeah, Coach takes good care of his rig. Good on him. He's a Rosie hater now, but I would suggest stay away from the Dutchman. I think it was the Dutchman. I think I transferred it in. Let me see. I'm not sure. You know, I looked at Jayco's. There were all kinds of stuff over there. What's this one? The hell's that called? It was a sportsman. I don't know. I can't really see my thing, but I'll get them all out there. The Cougar. They had the Monaco was pretty nice. They had the 20th anniversary edition Monaco. There was some nice. The Reflection. By Grand Design. But the build quality was best of fiberglass corners, sloped roofs. Yeah. Stay away from Dutch, man. It's just the industry's in fat times now. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it. I've certainly, I know that, Joey D. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and close down. I thank you for your feedback on tonight. I think I've asked the question that needs to be asked out here. My home is open for hospitality, of course. I'm no spring chicken, but I'm able to do work. But it is nice to know, what's in it for you a little bit. It sounds like a question. Good night, Ghetto. It sounds like a tough question, but it's a question it's right to ask. If somebody's going to put 6 weeks of time into something, you'd like to know, there's some benefit besides just the glory of maybe a little brass plate on it, customized, something like that. So I have, my phone is getting ready to ring. So I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It was an epic stream. I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I appreciate it. Green Bay Wacky, nice to see you. Marcel Mann, Joey D, thank you. RB Davey, Joe Smith, good night to you, honey. John Q, Vanessa, my girl. Sweet dreams, Kim. Thanks for being along, everybody.